Welcome to the New York Outlook for Thursday, the 28th of March 2024. Starting off with the economic calendar, as we know, we have highly significant red folder news being GDP, and thus any trades that you are in, I'd advise that you close it at the New York Open at the very latest. My general recommendation is to close all trades by the lull and then wait for the news release. Dependent on this news release, it will govern whether we can either long or short the pairs that we trade. So I'll explain what I'm looking for as I go through the pairs, and then we can take it from there. So starting off with GBPUSD from a 4-hour perspective, you can refer to my end of day reviews of London Outlook to understand the higher time frame narrative. But basically, in a nutshell, we're in an unconfirmed scenario. We've reacted to two 4H OBs, neither of which have achieved their substructure targets under an unconfirmed scenario, and thus we have reasons to both long and short. Then if we move on to a 5-minute, what we're looking for is either validation of the Asia high of the day, which I'll mark out right here. So this would be your Asia high of the day, and I'll mark it as to be validated. So provided that the GDP, the US GDP news is positive for the USD, then we can support why the Asia high of the day should hold, and then we can consider shorting, obviously bearing in mind our daily range considerations. However, given that it is a significant red folder news day, we can consider the full average daily range and target a 1 to 3 at the 70% level. So that's something that could materialize. And if we just roughly estimate where our stop loss could potentially be, well, first of all, we have to take into account the Fibonacci and then placing at one of those levels. Let's assume this level, and a stop loss at the high, Asia high of the day, plus 2 pips, so 12.6 is where we at, roughly 12.7, so 13, 14, so about 15 pip stop loss, or the objective of targeting this. Obviously we can go lower and maybe use this, but it doesn't yield a 1 to 3, so I'm probably going to use this fib level right there. Obviously we need negative, so I'm going to mark this out, require positive US GDP news result, and then we can consider shorting from here. And then the alternative for a long would be New York puts in a new low of the day, because we can't trade based on the London low of the day, and once New York puts in that low of the day, which I've got an alert set there, then we can consider trading longs based on the assumption that this reaction didn't achieve its objective. So from that perspective, we can consider that front, and we have more than enough IRL for long base trades. Again, just to summarize, for shorts we simply need negative positive US news to support why we should short, and then if we want to long, we need a New York low of the day, and then negative US news to support why we should long. Yeah, I think I may have mixed it up. So I need, just to be crystal clear, I need positive US news to short from this entry, and then that that positive US news will validate the Asia high of the day is likely to hold, and then on the flip side we need a New York low of the day, and we validate that New York low of the day with negative US news, which will validate trading to the upside. So that's GBP USD, and then moving on to Euro USD. So from a USD perspective, we're currently sitting in a situation where our secondary leg has failed, our primary protein unconfirmed leg has been extended, and thus we have new primary legs to contend with to then support trading either longs and shorts. The London session essentially pushed down into this primary pro trend, previously confirmed primary OB associated with this proton previously confirmed primary leg, and for that reason we only have reasons to short because we haven't yet interacted with this OB. So the objective of this level here's reaction should be to take out this substructure, or at least bring us to this range that I've marked out where we can continue further short with the objective of targeting that substructure low. So that's pretty much Euro USD from a higher time frame perspective, which means now going into the New York session, we're just waiting for a New York low of the day, because like I said, my data and my testing has indicated that London base highs and low of the day tend not to hold. So I'm going to set an alert here to tell me if there is a New York low of the day, and then obviously I'll need negative US news to then support why longs make sense. New York low of the day question mark, and then my usual validation rules will apply in the sense that if the news puts in the low of the day, then at the time of the news release that candle must form the low of the day, and if a subsequent candle or candles form the low of the day, then that would invalidate that low of the day. But then what we could potentially do, because there is subsequent red folder news events at 4 p.m, we can then monitor to see if a later new low of the day is subsequently validated by these New York news events. Obviously we'll need alignment, right? So if we're looking for negative US GDP, then we're also looking for negative pending home sales and consumer sentiment. If either of these are positive, then we have a mixed result, and then we can't really use that to validate why a New York low of the day should hold. So that's pretty much the London outlook. The New York outlook. I hope you have a good New York session, and we'll chat again for the end of day review.